Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be ranking all of the ninjas' parents, both biological and non-biological. I really don't have much more to say here, so let's begin with number 10. In the 10th spot, I have Dr. Julian. Now this may surprise some of you because he did a great job building and then raising Zane. Pretty much perfect. Couldn't really ask for much more from him. So why is he at the very bottom of the list? Is it because while Julian was a good parent, he wasn't as good as everyone else? Unfortunately, no. Because Zane isn't his only son. After Julian was locked away in the lighthouse, he built Echo Zane to act as a replacement to Zane. Keep in mind that Echo Zane isn't just a mindless Zane clone, he's pretty much as much of a person as Zane himself is. So with the added context of Echo Zane existing, this makes the last few episodes of Season 2 pretty dark. While Zane was reuniting with Julian and they're all upstairs talking and having a great time, Echo was trapped down in the basement and most likely heard the ninja arrive. And Julian never even thought of bringing him upstairs or even telling anyone else about him. And then Julian leaves with the ninja, abandoning Echo Zane in the basement of the lighthouse. Dr. Julian then dies sometime between seasons 2 and 3, taking the secret of Echo Zane with him. Until season 6, when Jay and Nia return to the lighthouse and accidentally find Echo. Echo helps him fight Narcon, but is unfortunately left behind in the end. Jay does come back for him in the season finale, and Zane finally gets to meet his brother that he never knew he had. But then the events of the season are erased, and Echo is once again trapped in the basement. But this time at least, both Jay and Nia remember him. So sometime between seasons 6 and 7, they free Echo Zane, give him to Cyrusborg to fix up, and he has been living a good life as Cyrus's assistant ever since. Wait, that didn't happen? Jay and Nia never went back to the lighthouse to free Echo Zane? He's still to this day sitting in that basement not knowing if anyone is coming for him, or even knows he exists? And all that is because of Dr. Julian. Now, the real reason for this is because Echo Zane just wasn't a thing back when they made Season 2, so none of this was intentional, but that doesn't make it any less true, and for those reasons, Dr. Julian is by far the worst parent in the series. At number 9 is probably the set of parents everyone was expecting to be at the bottom. That, of course, being Sora's parents. These two suck. They didn't support Sora's passion, unless it was benefiting Beatrix, which made Sora run away to the crossroads. At the end of the season, when Beatrix is exposed, they still fully support her and don't care about what Sora wants. At number 8 is Garmon and Misako, Lloyd's parents. You're probably thinking that Garmon is the reason why these two are so low, since, Garmon literally being the main villain of the series and all. But no. If you think about it, Garmon not being a great parent wasn't really his fault. He was bitten by the Great Devourer when he was a kid, which made him slowly turn evil until Wu was forced to banish him to the underworld. Because of this, he wasn't able to be there during Lloyd's childhood, and when he did return, he did genuinely care for Lloyd, but he couldn't resist the evil inside of him, so they were forced to fight. Then, at the end of Season 2, he was purified, and throughout Seasons 3 through 5, he looked out for Lloyd and did act like a father. When he was resurrected in Season 8, only the darkest parts of him were brought back, and he was pretty much a completely different person. His arc throughout Seasons 10 and 15 is regaining the human side of him, and by Season 15, he once again genuinely cares for Lloyd. Now, Misako, on the other hand, was horrible. She somehow knew that Lloyd was going to become the Green Ninja, so went out researching the prophecy. While she did that, she pretty much abandoned Lloyd at Darkleys, which is a school that teaches kids how to be evil. Why would she do that? Why would she send him to a school that teaches you how to be evil? Why didn't she just leave him with Wu? And was her work really more important than being there during her son's childhood? I doubt it. Though, to be fair, once she reunites with Lloyd, she does actually start doing her job as a mother.
Aren't you going to kiss your mother goodbye?
Please,
Mom!
But either way, for those reasons, she drags herself and Garmon all the way down here. Though I guess Garmon wouldn't be too much higher than Misako if I was ranking them separately. In the 7th spot is Mr. and Mrs. Gordon, Jay's biological parents. The reason they're this low isn't because they were necessarily bad parents. It's because we just don't know a lot about them. Yeah, they abandoned Jay on Edna's doorstep, but we don't know why they did that. It could have been because they hated Jay and just wanted to get rid of him. But what I think is the more likely reason, they were just too busy to raise a kid. Cliff Gordon was a famous movie star and Mrs. Gordon was the elemental master of lightning and part of the Elemental Alliance. So I think it's very likely that they abandoned Jay because they just didn't have much of a choice. Also, real quick, I want to mention that we were cheated out of learning Mrs. Gordon's name. In Lost in Time, which is the only episode where she isn't a background character, the original Elemental Master of Ice refers to her as the Lightning.
Hey, Ice, am I seeing things, or are those the guys we just beat?
Indeed they are, Lightning.
That's like calling Kai Fire, or Sora Tech, or Lloyd. I actually don't know what you would call Lloyd. These two are definitely close enough to know each other's names. So what, were the writers too lazy to give her a name? It literally could have been anything, come on. And number 6 is Heatwave, Wildfire's parents. So yeah, we still don't know where Wildfire came from, or who her biological parents are. All we know is that she, along with this robot, somehow ended up in the wilderness and was adopted by Heatwave. And for a dragon and an advanced learning AI, I'd say that they did a pretty decent job. Next up is Kai and Nia's parents, Ray and Maya. Ray and Maya are pretty much in the same boat as Garmon, where they weren't good parents, but it wasn't really their fault. When Kai and Nia were 5 and 3 years old respectively, Crux kidnapped Ray and Maya and forced them to work for him or else go after the kids. So, Kai and Nia were pretty much abandoned and had to look after themselves ever since they were toddlers. When Ray and Maya were rescued in Season 7, they don't really start immediately acting like parents like Misako did, but that's because neither them or Kai and Nia really knew how to be a family. In Season 14, Maya tries to help Nia with her powers and be a good mother and all, but she's not really good at it.
Come on, up, sleepyhead. No. Your form is terrible, dear.
She does get better as the season goes on, but still not great. Kai and Ray, on the other hand, pretty much just act like best friends.
We've only got one level left. Yeah, we started this together, and I really want to finish it before Dad leaves.
Fire!
Kai, would you kindly direct a burst of fire at Ray?
What now?
So overall, not the best, but better than the previous parents on this list. And number 4 is Lou and Lily, Cole's parents. Lily, from what we know about her, is pretty much perfect. But Lou, on the other hand, could have been better. Lou's passion was performing, and he tried to force Cole to follow in his footsteps.
What's the triple tiger sachet?
Only the most difficult dance move ever created. Hence my father thought a 7-year-old could.
He sent Cole to a dance school, which he ran away from and became a ninja. Ever since then, he and Cole have had a pretty rocky relationship, which makes this sign really sad.
Hi, Mom and Dad. Of course. I'd love to visit. What kind of son would I be if I didn't want to?
Until episode 9 of season 1, where Lou sees Cole fight off the Serpentine and keep them away from the Fame Blade. After seeing this, as well as after Cole saves his life, Lou realizes his mistake and fully supports Cole being a ninja.
My son's a hero!
After season 1, the next time we really see Lou have a major role is in Quest for the Lost Powers book. where a close fourth of the book is told from the perspective of Lou. In this story, Lou is helping Cole the entire time despite being completely out of his element. He even goes as far as trying to help fight, which doesn't go very well, but it's the thought that counts. Unfortunately, Lily died before the show started, so we don't really know a whole lot about her, but we do know that she had a really big influence on Cole, and it's the main reason why he is who he is. So in the end, I'd say that Lou and Lily were pretty good. Now, number 3. At number 3, I have decided to put Kai. Now, the reason for this is because, like I mentioned earlier, Ray and Maya were kidnapped when Kai and Nia were only toddlers, which meant that Kai had to pretty much raise Nia. And now, more recently, Kai's been acting like a father to Wildfire, who's really changed a lot in the past season and a half, mostly thanks to Kai. So I'd say that Kai's more of a father than Ray and Cliff. And with that being said, he did a really great job. He was somehow able to take good care of Nia when he was only 5, and then all the way up until he was around 15 when Wu found them. And now Wildfire has grown a lot because of Kai, and can now actually be a functioning person. So I'd say that's pretty fair including Kai, and he's one of the best. It was pretty hard to decide who should take the number 1 spot out of the 2 sets of parents who are left. But after about a day of thinking it over, I've decided to put Aaron's parents at number 2, and that's because while we know practically nothing about them, other than the fact that they're really into detective stuff, just based on how desperately Aaron misses them, we can gather that they must have been really good parents. We know that they were really supportive of him, which was probably the reason Aaron was able to learn a very basic version of Spinjitzu. The only reason that they're not number 1 is because, like I said earlier, we don't know a lot about them. But even if they weren't great people outside of parenting, it's obvious that they kept that darker part of their lives far away from Aaron. And again, Aaron's whole thing in Season 2 is that the only thing he wants is to find his parents. It's the main reason he joins Ross at the end of the season, and for that reason I have to rank these 2 this high. If you've been paying attention, you already know which set of parents I've given the title of Best Parents in Ninjago. And that, of course, is the first parents we meet in the show, Ed and Edna, Jay's adoptive parents. Which is kind of ironic since I placed Jay at the bottom of my ranking every ninja list. But yeah, Ed and Edna are by far the best parents in the show, which is again kind of ironic considering that Ed and Edna aren't Jay's biological parents, and as far as we know, never even wanted a kid. We first meet Ed and Edna in only the 3rd episode of the show, where we learn that Jay is embarrassed that he grew up in a junkyard. Oh yeah, Ed and Edna own a junkyard. And that he finds his parents quite annoying for honestly pretty valid reasons.
Oh, look, it's my baby boy! It's been so long since we've heard from you.
Ma, I called you 2 days ago.
You're just my son's type.
Mom! Edna, it was a pleasure hearing about Jay's first potty time.
Oh, if you thought that was good, wait until you hear the story about the time I caught him kissing his pillow. Jay, did you make sure to pack clean underwear?
Yes! Mom!
After the plot of the episode, Jay comes around to liking and being less embarrassed by his parents. Ed and Edna haven't really done anything since that episode. There are a couple more episodes set in their junkyard. There is actually one more episode where they're relevant, and that's Operation Land Ho, where they give Jay a pep talk and are basically the sole reason the last 2 episodes of Season 6 play out the way they do. I do hope that we see these 2 again at some point, since they haven't appeared since Season 7.
A cappuccino machine. Amazing, son!
With the exceptions of Dr. Julian and Sora's parents, the parents in the show are actually pretty good, which I feel like you can't say about quite a lot of shows. Do you guys agree with my list? And with that, if you enjoyed, I'd really appreciate it if you took 2 seconds to like and subscribe. Bye!